Hello everyone, this is Dr. Aditya Gupta. In this video, I'll answer a very burning question, how to use Qbanks. Alright, how should you use Qbank? Especially, and I'll try to answer it from an intern and a post-intern perspective, not from a third and fourth year perspective. And this is a very important thing. As an intern and a post-intern, you already are on what? Short on time. Remember, Qbanks serve two purposes. Okay, they serve two purposes. One is the testing purpose, that they improve your MCQ solving ability. The other is the knowledge purpose. I would say use Qbanks for the testing ability more, GTs for the testing ability more, rather than for the information part, which is already enough in your notes, which is already enough when you concise those notes. Alright, and if you have to add information should always be added from previous year questions. So I'll answer three questions, mostly from an intern and post-intern point of view. Should you, if we are going to use custom modules, which hashtags to use? Are all modules important? And should we stick only to PYQs? I'll be taking Marrow because I know that most of you will be using Marrow as a main Qbank. I won't be discussing about Prep Ladder and eGurukul in that. I'll be discussing a little bit about REFLEX also, which is my own app, which a lot of you probably might be knowing. Now, starting from Marrow, the first thing you always have to realize is that the flow of solving MCQs when you're preparing for any entrance always goes in this way. Previous year questions have to be done first. PYQs help you understand what are the important topics. Why PYQs? Why are PYQs important? Because they help you judge what is an important topics, which topic requires more energy, which topic requires me to have in the memory versus something which I can probably forget. Let's say I will give you an example. You have two options to choose. You want to study glycogen storage disease versus you want to study Robinson-Tybee syndrome. For example, just an example. A lot of you will say, obviously, sir, we need to study glycogen storage disorders. One question almost always will come from glycogen storage disorders. Both are genetic disorders, be it Robinson-Tybee syndrome or glycogen storage. But you know glycogen storage disorders, and the table of glycogen storage disorder is way more high yield than maybe reading about Robinson-Tybee syndrome. Right? How do you know that? You know, because when you analyze the past 5 to 7 years or 10 years papers, you realize that every paper has a question on glycogen storage disorders. That's why you know. That's why these previous year questions are important. They help you identify the important topics so that your revision becomes streamlined. You know what is important and you don't waste time on non-important topics. Otherwise, the information is infinite. Medical field is infinite. You can read pediatrics for 3 months, right? It helps you streamline your preparation, and that's why previous year questions are important. You cannot leave them. And if there is a previous year question which appears in the exam, 100% someone else will be getting it correct. And if you don't get it correct, your rank will go down. That's why they are important. So how the flow should go when you're solving MCQs and a Qbank is, first you have to solve PYQs. And from PYQs, you'll understand important topics. So you understood, let's say glycogen storage disorder is an important topic. So GSD module needs to be solved. You cannot miss out on solving glycogen storage disorder module. All right, I'll take the example again from pediatrics point of view. First you will make a custom module with recent aims and INICET, recent aims and recent INICET and NEET as the hashtag. That's it. That's how you should start. Of the topic that you studied that day, you have to solve MCQs on a daily basis. You studied for 4, 5, 6 hours, and then 1 hour you have to solve MCQs. Solve the previous year questions of the topic that you studied that day. Okay, don't miss out on any single day. Don't like, I'll at the end of the subject I'll do that. No. Pick up the topics from Marrow, pick out recent, maybe the only 20 or 30 questions come, but do those 20, 30 questions. Alright, now from that reading, you will understand that there are some important topics. When you do the previous question, you will realize what topics are being asked frequently from, what things are being asked from the topic that you studied today. From that, do the important topic modules. I'll take the example of pediatrics, for example. So let's say, so in pediatrics, broadly, you can say, right, that neonatology definitely is important. Neonatology definitely is important. So that needs to be done. Do you need to do this metabolic disorders of amino acid? No. All this will be done where this will already be, would have already been done in biochem. Maybe in biochem you can do this. Maybe in biochem you can do glycogen storage disorder, module. But no need in pediatrics. No need of polio, AIDS in children. Nobody asks questions of AIDS in children. AIDS question, if there are adult medicine question. Nobody asks AIDS in children. Nobody asks about, again, diphtheria, polio, all these things are covered in microbiology. They're covered where? They're covered in microbiology. No need to do these questions from a pediatrics perspective. Not really important. Again, questions which are questions like, pediatric hematology, oncology, solid neoplasms of childhood. Again, path. You must have done all of them in path. You don't need to do ALL, AML again. You've already done it in path. You don't need to do leukemias. All right, do the questions there. The questions will come from there. Pediatrics will ask on general pediatrics and neonatology. How do we know that? Because when you analyze the previous year questions. So this should be the flow. PYQs of what you did today, understanding important topics and doing important topic modules. Immediately from, from 800 modules, you will reduce to around 400 odd modules, which if you are able to do, that's great. You ask any topper, they will say that they did not do every module, but they did the important topic modules. They did around 300, 400 modules. Every topper will say they did the previous year questions thoroughly. They did 400, 500 around modules, 500 on the higher side, 300 on the lower side. But that's the range that would be. All right. And that is enough. Beyond that is genuine FOMO. Apart from this, in the individual module, every question needs to be judged. All questions in the important topic modules are also not important. Some of the questions are pure FOMO. I'll give you an example. So Kwashiorkor versus marasmus, protein energy malnutrition is an important topic. It's a very important topic. 1 or 2 questions every time come. See this question. A 4-year-old child has come with mid-upper arm circumference of 11 centimeter. He's stunted. What is the grade of marasmus with loss of buccal pad of fat? I also answered it incorrectly. I also did not know. Nobody does grading. I did not even do grading of marasmus in my MD in pediatrics. Imagine that. Then I saw the answer. Then I was like, what is the reference? Let's see the reference. What was the reference? Partha's Funda. I have not even read of this book. I have not even learned about this book. Either the reference should be Nelson or it should be Ghai. What is this Partha's Fundamental? I don't even know about this book. So this is a useless question. Alright, absolutely useless question. You don't need to know the grading. This is extra information. You don't need to know the grading of Kwashiorkor marasmus. Nobody asked that. And that's why only 19. Imagine, even everyone asked or choosing 1/4, 1/4 is less than that also. Nobody knows. And actually nobody knows. This is a useless question. For any MCQ, I would say when you are doing it in a QBank, always look for the 60 to 80% correct ones. 50 to 80%. These are the moderate to easy level questions. So the 60 to 80% is the one which should definitely be remembered. See, most of them are getting it correct. So if you are getting it incorrect, then that's a problem. You should get them correct. While the less than 40% one, they're useless. If you're getting something, if the correct percentage in a question is around 25%, 30%, see, it basically the people who got it correct also, they got it by chance. They also did not know the answer. Let's be very honest about that. So those questions are not important. Those questions are just addless information. See those questions in which 30% are getting it correct, 40% are getting it correct. See if it is from an important previous year topic. See if it is an important concept. Concept is fine. But if it's an information, if it's a fact, it's a useless fact. The gray zone is 40 to 50%, I would say. If it's a concept, you should know. Fact, again, plus minus. Again, I'll give you an example. For example, this one. Which is the following is an irreversible inhibitor of EGFR tyrosine kinase. So EGFR inhibitors, the names are important. Irreversible and reversible. As an oncologist, again, I did not know. Again, 90% have gotten it correct. Why? Because it's a useless fact. Nobody is going to ask this. Absolutely no one is going to ask this. So don't worry about these kind of facts. Alright. The 50 to 80% is the actual zone which you should focus on and not get those correct. Or if you're getting this correct, that should be, you should understand why you got correct. It should be in your notes. Less than 40%, not really important. 40 to 50% gray zone. This is my assessment. Less than 40%, if it's a concept and it was a tricky question. Let's say it was a trick question and they use some trick and then you had the feeling, then maybe you can keep it in notes. But if you feel it's a fact, it's a random fact which has come from anywhere, even in the important topic module, that's a useless question. Always remember that even in important topic modules, there can be some useless facts which are not required. Don't overburden your brain. Okay, you have to keep your material concise, which you can revise. So starting with the broad material, keeping it concise, practicing it, but don't add too much information. You will just go in FOMO and FOMO. Remember, any exam has 120 easy question, 40 to 60 moderate question, and 30 tough question. Your rank is always determined by these easy and moderate question. Toppers are not those who got the tough questions correct. They are the ones who never got a single easy or moderate question incorrect or wrong. You don't become All India rank 1 by solving the more tough questions. No. If you're solving all the easy and the moderate questions and you're getting 170 correct, you will be All India rank 1 or All India rank 10 or All India rank 100. The tough questions don't determine the rank. It is not making mistakes in the easy question. And that's why you're doing the MCQ practice. That's why you're doing the PYQs again and again. And that's why you're doing important topic modules so that easy questions are not gotten wrong. That is the main reason, that you know the concept, test that concept. Alright. So how should your day look like as a NEET PG aspirant? 4 to 6 hours of study, theory, post-intern perspective, 2 hour MCQ practice, and 1 hour of making the concise notes of that day. Okay, along with a GT every 2 to 3 weeks. This is how a day should look like. Okay, please, a very genuine request from my side. बंद कर दो इन इंस्टाग्राम, प्लीज स्टॉप इंस्टाग्राम. देयर इज नथिंग इन इंस्टाग्राम. रील्स के नशे करने प्लीज बंद कर दो. अ लॉट ऑफ यू स्पेंड सो मच टाइम ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. इट्स काइंड ऑफ फनी एक्चुअली एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, राइट? इंस्टाग्राम इज नॉट गोइंग टू गेट यू अ सीट. Stick to, you know, going for your, you're the only app in your life should be Marrow, PrepLadder or eGurukul, whichever app you're using. That's my, for the next 4-5 months, and then enjoy, right? Even I deleted Instagram when I was preparing. There's no harm in that. And then the next picture I posted was when I got a good rank and I got, I went for a Europe trip. That's the picture I posted. Now coming to Reflex. Alright, so remember, Reflex is an app which I created for PYQs only, so that your focus, first you do the PYQs very thoroughly and then you can move to the important topic modules. And I wanted to price it at a very low price point, so it's around 1,000 rupees only at this point of time. We have increased the price a little bit because it was bleeding money, so just a small price. Now, Reflex, remember, it's a PYQ only bank. There are no additional questions, and it has passed 10 to 12 years question. And the best advantage is that instead of making custom modules, what way you can have, you will have, let's say you have done pathology today, all the PYQs will be arranged topic wise. So let's say you did, general pathology and immunology today, and hematology, this is the only thing that you completed. Solve these 100, 150, 200 MCQs over the next 1.5 to 2 hours. That's it. All right. The second advantage is, major advantage specifically for INICET, is it has 10 years PYQs. This is something, again, one of my juniors, she got All India rank 28 in this November INICET, and she praised Reflex. She said that Reflex app was the reason, one of the reasons she got a better rank in INI. She got like 400 rank in NEET. She got a much better rank in INI. Why? Because again, INI tends to repeat a lot of its questions. This time also it repeated a lot of its question. So if you go a little bit further into 2014, 13, papers also, you will get an advantage over other people who are not getting that advantage. All right. And it's not that it's not for NEET also. All India rank 4, this is Nisargi. This is, hi Nisargi, if you are watching it. She got All India rank 4. She met me. She told me that she was an intern and she could use Reflex very fast. Like the name itself is telling you, right? Reflex. So she could use very fast because the explanations are not, we have not made it from a theory point of view. Like I said, Qbanks have two purposes. One is theory, one is testing. Reflex is a pure testing app. It's a pure PYQ testing app. That's why the explanations have not been very, they're not huge. They're concise explanations. Consider it like the first aid of PYQs. Okay. It's a revision tool. So if you're done with your first read, or you're going through your first read, and in the second half of your first read, then solving PYQs reflexively and doing them very fast again and again, that's why Reflex is going to help you. Who should not take Reflex? And this is a very important point. If you're starting with absolutely zero prep, please don't take it right now. Maybe take it 2-3 months later, but don't take it right now because, like I said, explanations are very, very concise. I made it from an hectic internship point of view कि रात के 11 बजे से 11 o'clock you are, in final year of done your medicine, you want to solve some PYQs so that you know the important topics and you can just solve them very fast. That is the main purpose, that you solve all the previous requests. Definitely you know the important topics, and then you can obviously solve more Qbanks and GTs and whatever it is, right? But at least the PYQs are done. You have one-stop source for all the previous question. That was the logic behind Reflex. So that's how you can use Reflex, especially if you're intern in a busy posting. Please, Reflex is the one thing that you can do, because other Qbanks explanations are like so vast that reading them takes a lot of time. PYQs, simple short explanations, you at least will be done with the PYQs like that way. That is one purpose. Apart from that, we also have my own concise notes are also available for 10, or me and Divya's concise notes are available. You can always check them out. That's another small bonus that you always have with Reflex. Okay. Now, the one thing I want to tell everyone is that we are, for Reflex, we are conducting a dipstick quiz every Monday. And if you sign up, even if you don't purchase it, even if you sign up, you'll get a link for this dipstick quiz every Monday. And the top 5 winners of this dipstick, top 3 winners of this dipstick quiz, they get a free subscription for 1 year. So 20 questions of the dipstick quiz every week. You will have 20 PYQs. So use that. So at least you have that build consistency. Every week 20 PYQs are at least getting done. Use that. At least sign up for it. Okay, I'll give the link in the description about how the Reflex app is. But this is how you should use Qbank. Okay, you should use Qbank. Yes. Do you need to do all modules? No. PYQs, if you're using Marrow, you can make the custom module. If you want to use Reflex, you can use Reflex. That's your choice. Make custom module, understand the important topic modules, and even in the important topic modules that you're doing, understand that not every MCQ is important. Those less than 30 or 40% correct, nobody got them right. तुक्का मारा है. उन लोगों ने जो उनके सही में उन्होंने तुक्का मारा. That's just luck. They are useless. It is a 50 to 80% one. They are the best ones. More than 80%, obviously you should get correct. That they are the easy question. You should not get them wrong. All right. Try to ensure that the easy and the moderate questions you get correct, and you will be golden. You will probably get a top 100 or a top 10 rank. Okay. Always remember this mantra. Toppers don't get tough questions wrong. They don't get the easy and the moderate questions. They don't get the tough questions correct. Toppers don't get the tough questions correct. They don't get the easy and the moderate questions wrong. So that is the main mantra that you should follow. All right. I hope you enjoyed this particular video. Thank you and have a nice day.